Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Kaizer Chiefs beat Stellenbosch 1-0, and I did say that Chiefs is going to beat Stellenbosch, so kudos to me. But before we get into that, let's like, comment, and subscribe. Most important is subscribe. So Kaizer Chiefs wins 1-0 thanks to a goal by Lilepo. And yeah, you know what? The game was one of those games where every time Stellenbosch was attacking, we actually finished their attacks very early. So you never got to a point where you're really scared that they were going to score. And this is something we haven't experienced from a Kaizer Chiefs side in a long time. Against Amazulu in the game we just played in midweek, every time Amazulu was attacking, it felt like they had a chance. But today with Stellenbosch, it wasn't the case. We cancelled out their build-ups. Whenever the ball got to their midfielders, we cancelled that out. We stopped them from playing. A lot went right in terms of, and this is an important thing, a lot went right in terms of containment. Us containing Stellenbosch was basically how we contained Pirates. Meaning, Guti, there's something that's happening in our defensive things that is working out well. And a part of me thinks it also has to do with Ditlokwe. Because Ditlokwe really shuts down the left side. You know, when Ditlokwe is on the left, I am at peace. I've been saying this in the prior games, that when Ditlokwe is playing at left back, I am so much at peace. Even though Ditlokwe is not a left back we should be investing to have in the future, but even if he's playing out of position, he is doing fantastically well. So I want to give credit to Ditlokwe. Ditlokwe, what you have come in at Chiefs in this season and done has been amazing. I mean, there was a time where there was talks that Nabi may ship you out because you are holding a foreign spot. But now, the way you are playing, you know, Chiefs must just work on your citizenship because you've been in South Africa for 5 years. But anyway, the game, there's one thing I was going to touch on in the end, but I'd rather touch on now. Thabo Cele, Morris, and Lollipop, match fitness is killing them. You know what? In the first game when we played Amazulu, I felt like it was more intense, more running. I don't know if it's the altitude or whatever those things were, playing in Cape Town versus playing in Joburg. But Morris and Lilepo, most especially, were finished. They could not do 90 minutes. I'm even surprised Lollipop got to 90 minutes. He actually looked much better. But Morris, guys, I don't know if it was somewhere maybe 65 minutes, somewhere there, Morris, his game was done. He could not control the ball. He could not pass. He was just out of gas. And the one thing I kept asking myself is, Nabi, why are you leaving this guy on the field? This guy is not pressing. This guy cannot control the ball. This guy is finished. And that's something we bring on each and every day in these in our comments and our chats, is that this thing of Nabi leaving certain people on for too long or substituting the wrong people. Today, I'm actually glad he substituted the right people into the game. You know, today is one of those games where you saw the right things, the right substitutions happen. Why do I say that? When Botsani came, he came with good energy and he was still shutting down the wingers, meaning that he was still putting the pressure on the players. Mdusha Balala came and he was putting pressure, which is what Morris was starting to fail to do, meaning that Stellenbosch, when Botsani and Dusha Balala came on, they started to struggle to play because they were gaining momentum. They were starting to find areas to play and play long balls. But the moment we got those fresh legs on, it changed the complexion of the game. Look, it's one of those games where in the first half, we scored a goal, but we didn't really create enough chances. In my opinion, we didn't. Like, at some point, I'm going to be very honest, at some point, I even felt like the game was very boring to watch in the first half because we were not progressing from the midfield to the attackers. Yes, our attackers were getting the ball, but nothing was developing from our plays. And that was something that it got to a point where it's like, if it carries on like this, is it going to be a case where Stellenbosch is going to score a late goal and then we're going to draw 1-1? Because it just kept like we're hitting a wall, we're hitting a wall. Because Lollipop, he was good in, maybe, let's say Chiefs as general, was good in the first, let's say, 20 minutes. When I say good, I mean like it felt like we were creating the right movements, we were creating the right chances, etc. Then I don't know what happened, but I think Stellenbosch started making in-game changes to the team, because then our ball started to dry up. Like, we started seeing Matt, but Matt, we were starting to seem like trying to win balls instead of like just passing, spraying a pass. Because I will say this, Matt, the thing about Matt, I'm going to be honest, Matt still does mad things like give away the ball, but this is one of his better performances this season. He passed the right people. Sometimes, how can I put this? The way I can put it is that the Matt played above himself today, so he played a good game. But at the end of the day, Matt is still Yusuf Matt. And when I say he's still Yusuf Matt, there's been moments in this game where you like, if this guy was used to playing a scanning game, he would know in moments that he's alone in the middle. And instead of passing the ball back, progress the ball forward, trap it inwards. But because, there's certain players who haven't learned the art of scanning, and Matt is too old at this point to learn the art of scanning as a midfielder. There's certain things he does that delays the attack. Thabo Cele actually does it well. The only thing I'm picking up on Thabo Cele is that I want him to do less defensive work. And the reason I'm going to say this is one, Thabo Cele is not a good defensive player. He's picking up unnecessary yellow cards. So I want him to do more of the offensive work. The one thing I'm picking up about Thabo Cele, and I think if he finds himself one day partnered with the right kind of player, Thabo Cele may be competing to be one of the best midfielders in South Africa. I know a lot of you are going to be like, what did you see? There's something I'm seeing. He wants to control the game. He wants to control the game. He wants to control the tempo. He wants to slow down the game when it needs to be slowed down. I saw that so much in the second half. In the second half, he slowed down the play. The only problem when he's slowing down the play sometimes is that we get worried, because slowing down the play is good, né? But you have to have the right players around you to be able to make slowing down the play not bite you in the butt. Because when you slow down play, you're going to end up having to find the right people the ball. The ball must find the right people, because Chiefs currently, we play so fast because not all of the players are comfortable with a slow game. They don't like holding the ball for too long. And that's something that makes me wonder if Matlo comes back from his injury. Matlo has a similar kind of feel to the game, where he also likes to try slow down the game, or just, delay sometimes, just delay some things and, hold the ball a bit more. So I feel like Thabo Cele may find the right partner. Maybe that partner is Matlo, I don't know, but he may find the right partner. And the one thing if that works out for him and he does find that right partner in crime, I feel like we're going to have more chances. But let's talk about a lot of like individual good performance. I spoke about Ditloke solid, Miguel solid, Dudley solid. Frosler actually had a decent game. Well done to Frosler. My only problem with Frosler, and I keep having this problem, is when he gets into the final third, when he's in an advanced position, sometimes I wish he could just watch Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool. The guy knows how to whip the ball in front of the striker. And sometimes those balls that you whip in front of the striker, they end up being own goals. But they hit it hard and low. Frosler likes chipping the ball. I don't know why. He has some Samkelo Zwane traits that sometimes is very annoying. But other than that, he had a better game this game. And Lollipop, showed good signs, but there's one move that he did, and I'm like, yo, I used to cry for Saile just to learn this one move. There was a point in time where Sirino had the ball, and Sirino was not looking at him. But the moment Sirino turned and faced the field, upwards in the field, Stellenbosch was holding just one line. You could see a line of Stellenbosch players. And Lollipop knew in that moment what was happening. And he quickly started running. And Sirino noticed him. And the moment Sirino noticed him, Sirino was prepping for that pass. That pass where his Lollipop was almost going to be one-on-one. And Lollipop broke, but Sirino's pass was not accurate enough because the Stellenbosch defender got a touch. And I'm like, that is what I need Lollipop to do more. I need him. I said it in the previous game. This thing of hugging the line too much, he won't be productive in what we need to do. He needs to find a way to run more directly towards goal because he's fast. He knows how to do those takeoff runs. It's funny enough that I've been saying this about Saile week in, week out, that he just needs a coach who would teach him, don't run with the last man. You need to run way before the last man. When you actually moving past the last man, you must be running past him at 120. That means that when your midfielder passes him, you're gonna get the ball almost as if you are offside because you're gonna be alone. But no, it's because you're fast and you timed your run. It's something that I keep saying week in, week out. Not week in, week out, but I say often that if Saile could have matched that, he would have understand how Richard Henyekani in one season scored 18 goals and became the top goal scorer, and was supposed to score like 28 goals, but they marked so many of his goals offside because of how quick he was. One player I really miss watching, Richard Henyekani. It's just a throwback. But overall game performance, good game performance, good containment, good management of the game. Something looked, I don't know if it's the reason. I know a lot of you would have wanted to know maybe why I say Stellenbosch will beat them, because even in our worst season we always find a way to beat Stellenbosch. They can beat us once, but we will beat them in that season, so it can go 1-1. This year I said in the previous game, Stellenbosch, for sure I knew we're getting 6 points from Stellenbosch, because Stellenbosch plays I attack you, you attack me. I attack you, you attack me. But the thing is that because they are overconfident against Chiefs, they push their defenders sometimes too high, and we often used to catch them like that. So they like to play pound for Chiefs, but then when they play Sundowns and Pirates, they respect them. They play almost a low block and hit transition football, hit counters. So that is not what they do against Chiefs, and it ends up always biting them in the butt. So they always struggle to plan against Chiefs. So this one I knew is going to be 6 points. But the truth of the matter is that something is going right in terms of our shape from the back. Something is going right. Our midfield is still not the way it should be, especially when we play double pivot. I think the double pivot system is not good. But one thing that's going to be interesting, we are going to be playing Chippa United in the Nedbank Cup next Saturday. And when we play them, Matt will be suspended. So we know for sure that we are finally going to see a midfield that does not have Matt in it. And we will see what the players will do without Matt. Meaning that Thabo Cele will be partnering up someone else. And that someone else will probably be Ox. But it will be interesting to see how Ox and Mteto will play, because Ox will give Thabo Cele freedom. So that's one thing I want to see. The striker problem won't be solved this season, unfortunately. We just have to hope that Duba comes back. I think the last time they said 6 weeks, but you know how many games is going to pass in that 6 weeks. So in my mind, I'm not even going to consider Duba to come back for this season, because there are gonna be so little games left in the season. But yeah, the striker problem is gonna be an issue. A part of me sometimes just wishes that Nabi and them can just throw in a youngster for the last 10 minutes, a young striker like Uneo Bushoko or Ushongwani, you know. I just want them to just try them out. But it feels so good to not have Ranga on the field, because as bad as Morris was today, because I would say the previous game was better than this game, but as bad as he was today, but he presses the right way. Sometimes this game wasn't his best, but he was partner combining well. He was holding up the ball better than Ranga does. So is he an upgrade from Ranga? Yes. But is he going to really move the needle for Chiefs in terms of converting chances and stuff like that? No, he won't. Because the way we scored today is basically how we've been scoring the whole season, a set piece. We're one of the teams that have scored the most set pieces. So we're just happy that Lollipop, and this is one last thing that I want to add. It's very interesting to me how big Chiefs are. So us scoring set pieces is starting to no longer surprise me. Chiefs players are big, guys. I wish people can understand. We have Morris, who's over 1.8 meters. We have Dudley, who is around 1.9. We have Titoka, who's close to 1.9. We have Miguel, who's a good header of the ball. When we even add someone like Matlo, it will even be worse. He's also like over 1.8 meters tall. We just have bulky players. So set pieces, I'm starting to realize how we score them. But the most important thing is we need to continue to play Sirino. Sirino is so important to us. I don't know how else to say it, but Sirino is really important to Kaizer Chiefs. I want to talk about Modi, but I think I'll talk about him tomorrow. But his missed chances one day are going to... Not one day. They've already cost us in 2 games. His missed chances have already cost us in 2 games. Today, when he missed that chance, I was like, I hope we don't concede, because it will be this chance that we all remember. Modi needs to figure out a way to just start composing himself and putting the ball in the net. Amakhosi for life.